So entrepreneurs, by their very nature, are impatient. If they have something they want to talk about, they want to walk in and see you right now. So to be accessible to them on an as-needed basis for a business issue they're addressing is what we do, and it really is whatever they need advice and counsel on. So I don't sleep at night because I'm trying to figure out how to make their business work. But that's what makes entrepreneurship exciting, is you get to just take something that's nothing and turn it into something.
Our product stands out as the premium choice for athletes seeking serious protection.
I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Since I was younger, I would make bangle bracelets and sell them at school. And I wasn't sure how to get into my entrepreneurial spirit here, but I knew business would open doors for me.
When they come here, they don't come here as part of a class assignment. It's not a way to get extra credit. They come here because starting a business is their life's calling. Tiger Cage is Auburn's version of Shark Tank, except in our case, the judges are friendly, not adversarial. Almost always made up of Auburn alumni, Auburn entrepreneurs, successful business professionals who really take great interest and pride in supporting students like Auburn people do. Auburn people like to support Auburn people, and it's just a great way to build relationships and network between students and alumni.
There's not a single person that we've gone to who's refused to help us or didn't want to help us. Everybody here wants to see everybody around you succeed.
So I always played sports growing up, but my favorite sport out of all three that I played was volleyball. 50 years ago, players were still wearing the same pad. It's like, okay, it's time for a change, and I'm gonna be the one to do it. This part goes below your knee and it's strapped, so nothing's restricting the back of your knee. It's all on your lower shin. And then this part comes up above the knee, so you're protecting your shin and your kneecap, which is unlike any other design.
Planet Snacks is an international snack distribution company aimed at connecting international students to authentic international snacks.
To build the cultural familiarity between the international students, that's really our core goal, and we'll start by doing that here in Auburn and then continue to build off that and expand to other schools. And eventually we hope to cater to every single international student and their families, because we want to make it as familiar and as comfortable as possible.
This is my second year competing in Tiger Cage, so I definitely kind of knew what was coming and knew what I needed to keep moving on to the next round. And I just was really refining my pitch since I had been doing it for a year.
We're roommates, so it's pretty, if we had a third roommate, we might drive them crazy and kick them out, because at 7 in the morning, I'll wake up and I'll be like, I had this idea, and then I'll talk to him for 20 minutes straight, and I can tell that he's not even awake, but he's interested in what I'm thinking about, and we're always just able to like bounce ideas. We're kind of in the workspace 24/7. This round was the fun one, because once you make it in the top 6 teams, you're kind of like guaranteed something. And we're shooting for first, so the nerves were still there.
The adrenaline rush, and then after you're done, it's just like a lot of weight off your shoulders. You feel really good about yourself.
To Planet of Snacks.
We're always constantly trying to gain an edge on our competitors, and so throughout the rounds we were constantly like learning what questions did the judges ask us and where did their confusion stem from, and what did our opponents do better than us. We're really good at just being able to understand what we're doing, and that is advantageous.
I obviously had good nerves, but I was more excited because I knew I had put in a bunch of hard work. Again, I had practiced my pitch so many times, I was really confident, and I went into there knowing that it was going to be more of a conversation than it was going to be a pitch. And I knew that I really needed to connect with the judges. Just going in with that mindset was so helpful, and knowing that I had worked as hard as I possibly could. Obviously, I was, wanting and striving to be first, but I knew at the end of the day, I could only give my best, and I was going to come in with my best.
Tiger Cage 2025, receiving $30,000 in seed funding, goes to Protector.
I definitely think it was a surreal moment because I had worked so hard and I hadn't made it to the finals last year. Deep down inside, I had that feeling like this was a home run pitch. Like I knew that it went super well and that everybody loved it. And so it was kind of a dream come true. You know, that was just something that when I first started, I never imagined would happen, but that's what hard work does and consistency.
They develop an air of confidence as they go through the process. When they first come here, their pitches are basically, they've written something out and they literally read it to you from their phone. And then you see them 6 months, 12 months later, they're just talking, hands in their pockets, at ease, because they now know and have lived their business.
If you told us that we would be here doing an interview with Auburn right now 4 months ago, we'd be like, oh my gosh, you're insane. Like, this has just opened up a whole new world of opportunities to us that we didn't even know existed. And all we did was just utilize our campus resources.
You know, many of them may or may not actually take their business idea to market. But what they're learning in terms of entrepreneurial ways of thinking will support them whether they're in a corporate role or stay in an entrepreneurial path. These are remarkable individuals. And entrepreneurship is hard, it's everyday hard, and it never gets easier.
I think really just seeing how this idea that I had has come into fruition, knowing that injuries aren't going to be the thing now holding players back. I'm making an impact in changing the game.
If you want to do a startup, the NBA is perfect because you can go in with something that's very undeveloped, and if you put in the work, you will see the progression throughout the rounds, and you'll end up with money and an idea.
You're never going to know everything, and so if you can just keep moving forward and not stay stagnant, you're always going to grow.
And it's just a rewarding experience for us to see them develop from just students with an idea to being legitimate business startup owners.